close your eyes, and with that small, quiet gesture, the world begins to melt away. The room fades, the ceiling disappears, time unhooks itself from your wrist. Floating upward like a feather, light and unimportant now, you are somewhere softer, somewhere far beneath the noise, somewhere deep within the velvet hush of night, where dreams grow like vines and abundance breathes in petals and light. You stand before a garden, not one you've seen before, not quite, but one your heart remembers. It stretches wide in every direction, bathed in moonlight, carpeted in softness. Every leaf glows faintly gold, every tree hums your name in tones only your spirit can hear. It's not a place for effort. It's not a place for proof. This garden does not check credentials. It opens for your belief. You step inside, slowly, gently. The ground beneath your feet is like velvet deep, luxurious, forgiving. It welcomes your weight and holds you tenderly, as though it's been waiting just for you. Above, the trees are alive with slow-moving light. They shimmer with golden fruit, plump with promise, dripping with the sweetness of what is already yours. These trees are not grown by work. They are grown by wanting. They blossom from your quietest desires. You do not pluck the fruit. You only breathe. And every breath you take feels like receiving. And out. The air here is thick with richness. Every inhale fills your chest with the feeling of enoughness, more than enough. It feels like being seen. It feels like being safe. It feels like being surrounded by yes. There is no lack here, no shortage, no need. Only abundance, resting, glowing, waiting. You walk slowly, letting your fingers graze the low-hanging leaves. They whisper back with a delicate rustle. They recognize you. This is your garden. It was always yours, not because you earned it, but because you imagined it. This place is made of your thoughts. It grows in response to your belief. And tonight, it blooms for you. You come to a clearing round, soft, glowing. A fountain sits in the center, bubbling, with light instead of water. Its streams arc in golden curves, slow and smooth, like warm honey falling through the air. You sit beside it, cross-legged and open. And for a moment, you do nothing at all. The garden responds to your stillness. You begin to notice it. The way the trees lean gently toward you, as though curious, attentive. The way the golden fruit pulses softly with light, in rhythm with your breath. The way the grass beneath you seems to cradle you, not as a guest, but as something deeply loved. You feel your heart begin to open slowly, quietly, like a blossom. In moonlight. This is not a striving kind of opening, not a forced stretch, just a soft unfurling, a quiet remembering somewhere in the deepest part of you. You remember you are allowed to have beautiful things. You are allowed to want. You are allowed to receive without guilt, without proving, without pushing. Here in the velvet garden, abundance is not a prize. It is the air. It is the ground. It is the language the trees speak. It is the hum behind your name. And the more you believe in it, the brighter the garden glows. You watch as a tiny flower opens at your feet. A gift, maybe a wish. It looks like something you once wanted but forgot. You lean closer. It smells like childhood, like joy, like safety. You didn't ask for it, but it came. That's the magic here. You don't need to ask with the words. Your vibration is enough. And tonight, you vibrate in gold. You rest your hands on your knees. Your palms are open, facing the sky. You don't know why, but it feels right, natural. As if this gesture alone tells the garden, I am ready, not ready in the desperate way. Ready in the trusting way. Ready in the soft way that knows everything is already arranged. Above you, the stars shine down, not as distant watchers, but as smiling witnesses. They sparkle with approval, twinkling like coins being dropped into a fountain. 1, 2, 3. Each star a wish, each wish already answered. You feel it somewhere between your chest and your belly. A warmth, a gentle expanding. It's not dramatic. It's not loud, but it's real. You are filling up from the inside. Abundance is no longer something to get. It is something you are. You whisper softly to yourself just a few words. I am surrounded by abundance. I am safe to receive. I am the dreamer and the dream. I am. And with each line, the garden glows brighter. The trees sway a little more. The golden light from the fountain stretches higher. Reaching toward the stars, it mirrors your belief. Here, your inner world is the master key. You remember now, everything begins here. All outer abundance is just a reflection of inner softness, of inner permission. And tonight, you give yourself full permission to receive. You don't force it. You don't grab. You simply allow. And in the allowing, you begin to attract. You lie resting on the velvet earth. Grass parts just enough to cushion your body like a bed made of dreams. The air around you sighs with satisfaction. You stare up into the sky, watching the stars rearrange themselves into shaped symbols of what you desire. A home, a circle, loving arms, a golden coin, a radiant smile. You do not chase them. You only observe and still. They move closer. You notice a soft sound now. Music, no more subtle, a vibration. The garden is singing. It sings in frequencies only your heart can hear. The song says you are already worthy. You are already held. You are already wealthy. You exhale slowly, melting further into the soil of trust. Somewhere in the garden, something blooms. Somewhere inside you, something lets go. There's nothing more to do. There's nothing more to fix. There's only this moment, soft, glowing, generous. You think of all the times you doubted, all the nights you whispered wishes with fear. You forgive yourself now. You thank that version of you for trying so hard. But you don't need to try tonight. You only need to dream. The trees sway above you. The stars inch closer. The golden fruit begins to fall slowly, silently landing all around you. Each one a symbol of a blessing already in motion. You watch them glow and fade, knowing their energy has already entered your life. You don't need to know how. You don't need to know when. You only need to feel that it's coming. And tonight, you do. The garden grows quieter. The fountain dims to a lullaby shimmer. Even the grass seems to hush. Your breath slows. Your heart slows. Your thoughts become clouds, drifting through a night sky made of faith. You are no longer planning. You are no longer asking. You are resting in the frequency of having. And in that rest, you begin to glow from within. Not with urgency. Not with fire, but with the warm candlelight of someone who trusts that the universe is already at work. All the seeds are planted. All the instructions are whispered. All the signs are on their way. You don't need to chase abundance. You are abundance. And as your body begins to drift, as your eyelids grow heavy, as the stars fold themselves back into sky, you hear one last hum from the trees. It sounds like a lullaby. It sounds like a promise. As the velvet garden of plenty softens into starlight, you find yourself gently wandering toward a different clearing where something else waits to bloom. There is no rush here. No finish line to cross. No race to win. Just a gentle unfolding of what already belongs to you. You breathe in, and again, the world becomes soft. You are no longer in your bed, though your body may remain there. Tucked beneath blankets and shadows, you are elsewhere now, in a realm that listens not to words, but to feelings, to frequencies, to the steady rhythm of your allowing heart. Tonight, you are here to remember the truth about money, about wealth, about abundance in all its flowing forms. Not the kind you chase, not the kind you squeeze into spreadsheets or beg to stay, but the kind that flows freely, sweetly, softly toward those who are still enough to receive it. You find yourself seated beneath a willow tree. Its long, golden branches sway like curtains in the breeze, dripping down like strands of treasure. You sit in the hush of its protection, the air warm with richness. In your lap, an object begins to appear, not suddenly, not sharply, but gently, as if forming from mist and memory. It's a bowl, deep, round, smooth, empty. And yet full of promise. This bowl, you understand without needing to ask, is your vessel for desire. Not the loud kind, not the desperate kind, the calm kind, the kind that trusts it is enough to want gently. You place your hands on the bowl and whisper your wants into its stillness, not like demands, more like soft invitations. I would love more ease. I would love support. I would love overflow. The bowl hums in response, not because you shouted, but because you whispered with belief. Here, in this willow-covered sanctuary, you begin to understand that calm desire is the most magnetic force of all. You are no longer in need. You are in readiness. The difference changes everything. You imagine what you want not from absence, but from presence. You see your bank account not as it is, but as it could be. Not in panic, but in peace. You see money entering your life easily, without tension, without resistance. You see your hands receiving, giving, circulating, enjoying. Money becomes not a monster, but a messenger. It comes to affirm your self-worth. It comes to reflect your vibration. It comes as a friend, not a test. And the more you soothe your nervous system, the more it flows. The leaves above you rustle like soft paper. They sound like bills, like coins, like receipts for blessings already granted. And you laugh just a little, because you realize you've made it so complicated before dot so heavy dot so loud. But abundance doesn't need all that noise dot, it needs permission dot, so you begin to repeat gently, rhythmically in the space between thoughts. I allow myself to want without fear. I allow myself to receive without shame. I allow myself to hold more without guilt. Each line sinks into the bowl like drops of golden water. And soon the bowl begins to fill, not with stuff, not with things, but with feeling, a feeling of wealth, a feeling of trust, a feeling of course I can have that. This is the currency of calm desire. You don't barter, you don't beg, you align dot, and when you do, the universe rearranges itself to match your vibration. You begin to notice shapes forming in the air around you, silhouettes of situations that bring wealth, a job offer, a surprise refund, a client with kind eyes, a phone call, a message, a check, a blooming opportunity. These aren't dreams, they're echoes of your calm. They are reflections in the mirror of your steadiness dot. Money loves calm dot. It rushes to where it is welcome dot, and tonight you welcome it. Not by force, but by flow. You lay back now, still under the willow, the bowl beside you glowing faintly gold. The ground beneath you is cool and safe. The branches above kiss the air with sleepy movement. You begin to remember a time when you were afraid, a time when money felt like a stranger, when bills looked like threats, when you held your breath every time you checked your balance. You remember and then release, because that story is no longer yours. You no longer vibrate in scarcity, you vibrate in softness, you vibrate in yes. You let that old fear dissolve. It is no place in the sanctuary you built here dot. It was never the truth, only a chapter. And tonight, you begin a new one. The wind picks up slightly. It moves through the branches like a choir. You can almost hear words hidden in its tones. More is safe, more is natural, more is already on the way. And you believe it. You believe it because calm is your compass now dot. Not anxiety, not scarcity, not desperation, just calm and desire together. You sit back up, hands resting on your knees. You look at the bowl beside you. It's glowing now, overflowing not with money itself, but with the frequency of abundance, and that's all you need. Because frequency comes first dot, form follows. You place your hands above the bowl and let the glow seep into your palms. It feels warm, like sunlight made solid, like everything you've ever wanted in its softest form dot. It moves up your arms, across your chest, down to your belly. You're filling up with the vibration of plenty. You don't know exactly how or when your outer world will match this frequency, but you don't need to. That's not your job. Your job is to feel it dot, to trust it dot, to rest in it dot. And tonight, you do. You lean again into the ground. You close your eyes. But this time, you're not escaping. You're expanding. You picture your life as it could be, not in a distant someday, but in a very near soon. You see yourself at peace with money, grateful, supported, free. You see ease in your choices. You see generosity in your giving. You see dignity in your receiving. You are no longer afraid of more. You are ready for more dot, and that readiness is enough. The willow tree continues to sway above you, singing its golden lullaby dot. The bowl beside you pulses. Slowly dot, you reach for it once more, lift it to your chest, and let it melt into your heart space. It becomes light, then warmth, then a soft hum inside your ribs. You do not need to carry it now. You are it. Currency of calm desire lives in you now. You are a magnet not because you demand, but because you align. You are a receiver not because you hustle, but because you rest. You are a steward not because you conquer, but because you care. And the more you rest in this truth, the closer it all comes. You picture the life that matches this frequency. Not the flashy one dot, not the proving one, the peaceful one, the comfortable one, the life where you wake up knowing, I am supported dot, and as that image drifts softly through your sleepy mind, you feel the earth beneath you fade into the clouds of sleep. You are floating again, held not by effort, but by energy dot, not by logic, but by faith dot, and in this twilight state, where reality bends to belief, you hear the distant chime of a bell, not loud dot, not urgent dot, just soft, calling you forward, toward a different path, lined with blessings you no longer need to chase. Tonight, the air is softer than it has ever been. Your breath moves like silk across the back of your throat. Each inhale is an invitation, each exhale a surrender. There is no effort here, only unfolding dot, only receiving, only returning to what you never truly left. You are back in the garden of your mind, the velvet garden where light drips from trees, And desire feels like permission, not pressure, but this time something has shifted. The garden is still, yet alive. You walk slowly across the golden moss, feeling your feet sink into the welcome of the earth. The trees nod their heavy heads. The air hums with memory dot in your hand. You hold a small, ancient key. You're not sure when it appeared. Maybe it was always there. Maybe it grew from your calm desire. Maybe the bowl of chapter 2 melted into this. But tonight, you have it dot. It is light, warm. It vibrates faintly with possibility. You don't know what it unlocks yet, but something in you does. You continue walking dot and ahead through a grove of glowing lavender. You see it. A door dot. It stands. Alone dot. No walls. No hinges. Just a door in the middle of the garden, pulsing faintly with golden light. It does not intimidate you dot. It invites you dot. It looks like the entrance to something familiar. Something longed for. Something softly waiting dot as you draw closer. You feel it. The vibration of all your silent asks. All your whispered affirmations. All your dreams you once buried because they felt too big dot. They are not gone. They were simply stored here. Behind this door, you reach for the handle. But before your fingers make contact, the door shivers, and then opens dot by itself dot. It knew you were coming because in the realm of aligned abundance, nothing arrives late. Nothing requires knocking. What is yours opens dot. You step inside. The air shifts. It smells like vanilla and clean paper, like morning light, like trust. You stand in a hallway lined with doors, hundreds of them, each one a different shape, a different color, a different feeling. These doors are not locked. None of them require keys. Each one holds something you once desired dot. And now, in this dream space of receiving, you are free to walk through any of them dot. No password. No proving dot. Just choosing. You place your hand on a pale blue door. It tingles beneath your palm. Inside, you sense the presence of ease, financial ease, emotional ease, physical ease. You open it gently, and inside, a version of you sits by a window, smiling. They are dressed in comfort, surrounded by beauty, breathing slowly. They do not see you, but you see them. This is a glimpse of what's possible dot. No more than that. This is a glimpse of what's already vibrationally real. The version of you who receives without doubt. The you who doesn't chase, the you who attracts because you trust. You do not walk in. You do not interrupt. You simply smile and close the door with reverence that reality is not far. It is near dot. It is becoming. You step to the next door taller, carved with stars. Inside, a version of your life where time bends in your favor, where opportunities arrive without struggle, where success feels like alignment, not burnout. You feel tears pressed behind your eyes, not from sadness, but from recognition. You're not asking for too much. You're finally asking in the right way, not through striving, but through softness. You whisper a gentle affirmation. I no longer knock. What is mine opens. I trust the doors that appear dot. And as you say it, a breeze moves through the hallway. The other doors begin to hum. Some swing open, some stay closed. Not from rejection, but from sacred timing. You understand now, doors don't need to be forced. They need to be trusted. And timing isn't random dot. It's precise, like the moon dot, like the tide, like your breath. You continue walking, your pace unhurried, your energy at rest dot. Each door you pass tells a story. One of arrival, one of timing, one of silent orchestration dot. And then you see it, a golden door. Smaller than the rest, modest, but glowing. You reach for the knob, but again it opens on its own. Inside is a single chair facing a mirror. You step inside. The air is warm, still, sacred. You sit in the chair and look into the mirror. What you see is not your reflection dot. It's your energy, your vibration dot, soft, glowing, open. You see how much you've shifted, how far you've come. You no longer vibrate in desperation. You no longer echo with fear. You radiate calm trust, and from that calm, everything flows dot. The mirror begins to change, rippling like water, and now it shows moments. A phone call offering unexpected money, a stranger gifting you something you'd been thinking about. An opportunity that feels both surprising and deeply familiar. None of these are accidents. They are aligned responses to your vibration. You smile softly. This is what abundance looks like now. Not just money, but moments. Moments of knowing. Moments of yes, moments where the door simply opens. You place your hand on your chest, feeling the warmth from within. You whisper softly, I don't chase, I attract. And what is aligned arrives gently. The golden door closes behind you not as an end, but as a blessing. You step back into the hallway, feeling a fullness you can't explain. Not excitement, not anticipation, something deeper, knowing. You no longer look for the right door, you become the vibration that opens all of them. That's the shift, that's the magic, that's the path. You begin to walk back down the hallway, but everything is different now. You're not looking, you're glowing. The hallway fades around you, dissolving into stars. The doors melt into constellations, and the garden returns. You are back on the soft velvet, earth beneath the trees that hum your name. Your name. But now they hum louder. They've felt the shift in you. They've seen your stillness become magnetism. They've watched the doors open before your touch, and now they begin to offer, one by one. Golden fruits fall from the trees, each one landing near you with a gentle, padded sound. You don't rush to grab them. You simply lie back, receiving. Each fruit holds a different manifestation, and all of them begin to unfold slowly, naturally, without force. You no longer ask if they're coming, you know. They already have. The stars blink above you, the wind moves like soft fingers through your hair. And you rest in the truth that abundance isn't something you earn, it's something you embody. And as your body grows heavier with relaxation, as your mind quiets, as the final fruit falls beside you, pulsing with warmth, you hear the gentle creak of another door somewhere far away. Yet somehow inside you, it opens quietly, and a new garden waits beyond it, one not of wealth, but thankfulness for what's now yours, Tonight there is a quiet forming. It's not the absence of sound, it's the presence of something deeper. Stillness, softness, a gentle return to yourself. You are lying in your bed, but your soul is already drifting, not away but inward, towards something golden, towards something glowing, toward a place inside you where everything is enough, and as your breath begins to slow, you begin to feel it, a hush settling over your chest, a warm calm wrapping itself around your ribs, a readiness to remember what you've always known. That gratitude is the language of the universe, and tonight, you are learning how to speak it in whispers. You don't need a notebook. You don't need to sit up or list bullet points. You only need to feel, so you start with the smallest thing, your pillow. You feel the weight of your head sinking into it. The way it gently holds you without question. You whisper barely audible, maybe not even aloud, thank you. And the pillow gets softer. Then you notice your blanket, the warmth, the safety, the way it wraps around you like a second skin, shielding you from the chill of fear, of past, of not yet, thank you. You say again, and the warmth deepens, you feel your mattress beneath you, a surface to rest on, to surrender into. It says, I will hold you while you let go, and so you do, thank you. You breathe. You don't need to chase big things. Gratitude doesn't ask for fireworks, it asks for attention. So you give it. You thank your heartbeat next, that soft, rhythmic THUMP carrying you every second of every day, even when you forget it's there, thank you. Your breath, the rise, the fall, the way it never rushes you, the way it simply is, thank you. Each one of these tiny thank yous becomes a light. You don't see them at first, but as you close your eyes deeper, begin to notice tiny golden orbs rising gently around you, one for the pillow, one for the blanket, one for the breath, one for the beat in your chest, a quiet list of light, not written, but felt. Each light hovers in the air, pulsing softly like a firefly in a dream. You feel yourself begin to float upward gently. Surrounded by them, you are lighter now, because every thank you softens the weight of needing. Every thank you untangles the knots of not enough. You're beginning to remember you already live inside a miracle, and the more you notice it, the more it grows. Your mind wanders, and that's okay. Let it drift to something simple, maybe a memory, a moment when someone smiled at you with kindness. A warm drink, a laugh you didn't expect, a time you felt understood. Hold it lightly. Feel the warmth it left behind. Let that memory become another orb rising beside you. Golden and calm, thank you. You're not building gratitude, you're uncovering it, It was always there beneath the hurry, the worry, the wanting, it waited, and tonight, you let it rise. You begin to think of your body, not as a machine, but as a garden, every part of you working quietly to keep you alive, to hold you upright, to carry your spirit. You touch your chest, softly with your hand, you say, thank you, your feet, your fingers, your eyes, even closed, thank you, not out of obligation, out of guilt, but out of wonder. You are amazed by how much is already here. And with each acknowledgement, the golden orbs multiply. Dozens now, hundreds, they surround you. Like stars, and you float among them. Cradled by your own awareness, you no longer need to search for things to be grateful for. They begin to arrive on their own. One by one, they rise. The meal you enjoyed earlier, the roof above your bed, the message from someone you love, the quiet moment when the wind touched your cheek, the candle you forgot was still glowing. Each one joins the constellation of appreciation surrounding you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It becomes a rhythm, a lullaby, a trance of receiving. And the more you notice, the more there is to notice. Gratitude is not a list. It is a lens. And tonight, you wear it. You begin to think not just of what has been, but of what is coming. And even though you cannot see it yet, you choose to say thank you in advance. Thank you for the money I don't yet see, but know is on its way. Thank you for the opportunities preparing to knock. Thank you for the friendships unfolding behind the scenes. Thank you for the healing I haven't fully felt, but trust is already blooming. Thank you for the version of me I am becoming. And as you do, something strange happens. The orbs begin to change color. They glow a deeper gold. The soft streaks of indigo and violet, they are no longer just gratitude for the past. They are gratitude for the future. And this, you realize, is the magic. This is the doorway. Gratitude is the signal the universe hears most clearly. Not because it's loud, but because it's aligned. It says, I trust, I expect good things. I already feel the having of what is coming, and that vibration is magnetic. You drift through this glowing space now, wrapped in warmth. Your breath slow and steady. You are no longer counting, you are no longer listing. Gratitude is now your state. Not an action, not a task, a frequency. You are made of it. And as you float higher, you begin to see something forming below, a field of your future. Each orb of gratitude has landed like a seed in that field, and now they're sprouting. Blossoms of golden flowers bloom across the soil. Each one marked with a word: love, peace, clarity, abundance, health, joy, freedom. They bloom because you remembered to notice, because you remembered to say thank you, even when there was no proof, even when it was dark, even when you weren't sure. You trusted that noticing the little things would bring the big things closer. And you were right. You float down slowly now, feet touching the earth of your blooming field. You walk gently through it, brushing your fingertips along the petals of your own becoming. Each step a prayer, each breath a yes. The stars above you mirror the flowers below. And you whisper to the sky, thank you for this moment. Thank you for what's next. Thank you for everything I didn't see until now. And the sky answers not with words, but with a hush even deeper than silence. The hush of alignment. The hush of arrival. The hush that says more is coming. As the night wraps itself around your shoulders, as the dream settles deeper into your body, as the orbs of light fold themselves gently into your heart, you feel something shift again. Not a change, a deepening. Just before sleep takes you fully, you feel the edge of a new thought. What if there's even more to be grateful for? Not in the past, not in the future, but hidden quietly. In the mirror of morning's blessing, sleep surrounds you like mist, and yet, somewhere beneath it, something stirs. It's not urgency. It's not noise. It's a whisper, soft and silvery, calling you toward a new space in your dream. You follow it, not with footsteps, but with attention. And before you fully understand how, you find yourself standing in a room made of light. Walls shimmer with warmth, like dawn caught in crystal. The air tastes like quiet joy, like tea and sunlight, like morning before the world begins. This is the mirror room, a place where all your unnoticed blessings wait to be seen. You are barefoot on a floor of clouded glass. It supports you, not because of strength, but because of grace. Everything here is built from grace. At the far end of the room, a mirror stands. It's tall, frameless, still. You begin to walk toward it. With each step, a soft bell chimes somewhere high above, like a gentle clock measuring not time, but awareness. And when you reach the mirror, you pause. Because what you see is not just your reflection. It is your receiving self. The version of you who has mastered the art of noticing. The you who gathers blessings like wildflowers and holds them without crushing. This version of you glows slightly. Not from effort, but from deep, daily gratitude. They don't need to shout thank you. Their life has become the echo of it. You reach out. The mirror responds not with coldness, But with breath, it fogs slightly beneath your fingertips, then clears and suddenly the glass shifts. You are no longer seeing your face, you are seeing scenes. Memories, moments you once called ordinary now shown in a golden hue. You see yourself waking up on a morning when nothing was wrong, when the sheets felt just right, when your breath came easily, when the light slipped in through the curtains like a secret. You see the steam from your tea. You see a smile from someone who passed by. You see the way the world gave you peace without asking. You didn't notice it then, but the mirror caught it. And now it offers it back as a blessing. As a reminder. You kneel before the mirror, watching more scenes play out, your fingers brushing across a page in a book that changed you. The taste of something sweet you ate slowly, the quiet joy of doing nothing at all and letting that be enough. A laugh you didn't expect, a silence that held you. You begin to cry not with sadness, with awe, so much you missed, so much you forgot to honor. But here, in the mirror room, nothing is ever lost. Every blessing is stored in light, waiting for your awareness to bring it home. And now, you are home. You place your hand on your heart. You whisper, thank you for what I didn't see before. Thank you for the days I thought were empty but were full of unnoticed beauty. And as you say this, the mirror begins to glow. 1,000 golden threads stretch from its surface into the room, connecting the past with now, connecting every nothing special moment to the truth. It was always special because you were in it, because peace was present, because love was near. Even if unspoken, the mirror shifts again. Now it shows a sunrise, but not one you've lived yet. One that's coming, one that belongs to your tomorrow. And in that sunrise, you see yourself waking gently, stretching slowly. Feeling safe, feeling rested, feeling grateful for no specific reason, only because gratitude is your new default. It rises with you. It breathes with you. It becomes the lens through which you live. The mirror pulls back further. Now you see the room around your future self. It's cleaner, softer, filled with light and life. Not because you bought anything new, but because you noticed it. Because you let gratitude beautify everything. You see the way your eyes look in the morning. Not tired, but alive. You see your hands, not reaching for lack. But receiving with calm. You see how little changed, and yet how different everything feels. Because you no longer need something big to happen to say thank you. You say it anyway, and that changes everything. The mirror begins to dissolve now, its purpose fulfilled. But you are not sad to see it go. Its wisdom is in you now. You stand, and where the mirror once was, a door now appears. Not loud, not ornate, just waiting. You walk toward it. Your steps light, your breath slower than before, your mind softer. Before you open the door, you look down, and you see them. Footprints. Dozens. Hundreds. Your own. Every step you've ever taken in awareness. Each one a mark of gratitude. You never needed to leap. You only needed to look. And every time you did, the universe took note. You turn the knob. And you step into the light. It's not a blinding light. It's warm. It feels like silk and sunlight and songs you forgot you loved. This is the space of your current blessings. Not past. Not future. Just now. And everywhere you turn your gaze, you see gifts, some small, some silent, all sacred. The way your breath keeps coming, the beating of your heart. The softness of your sheet, the presence of your own soul. You sit on the ground. You don't need to float anymore. You don't need to travel. You are already here. And here is enough. You look at your hands. They are glowing. Every finger a line of light, not because of magic, but because of mindfulness. Gratitude illuminates what was already holy. You whisper one more time. Thank you for the mirror. Thank you for showing me. Thank you for what I now know to notice. And the wind replies not with words, but with a hush that feels like a blanket. A hush that says you are ready. As your eyes begin to close again, as the room begins to fade, as the mirror dissolves into your memory, you feel something new forming, a new truth, drifting upward from the depths of your dreaming. If gratitude multiplies what you notice, then what happens when you begin to think things that haven't even arrived yet? There is a kind of magic that lives in the dark, not in shadows, not in fear, but in trust, in believing before the blooming, in feeling before the form, in giving thanks before anything has arrived. Tonight, you float inside that magic, still wrapped in the softness of all you've seen, the quiet blessings, the mirrored mornings, golden orbs of remembered light. But now you drift deeper. Beyond what rises into what's becoming. There is a place between worlds, between memory and manifestation, where gratitude becomes a glowing thread not tied to results, not pinned to outcomes, but suspended freely, pulsing with belief. You arrive there now. A twilight field stretches before you, endless and unplanted. The sky is lavender and honey. The earth is soft, untouched, waiting. You are alone, and yet, not there is presence here, a sacred watching, a knowing wind. You stand still in the middle of the field and close your eyes. You feel the quietness of possibility pressing against your skin. You inhale slowly, and then you speak, not loudly, and for anyone else to hear, just for the universe, just for yourself. Thank you for what's coming. Thank you for the help I haven't seen yet, thank you for the joy on its way. Thank you for the yes that hasn't been spoken. The words feel strange at first, but the more you say them, the truer they become, not because they are confirmed, but because you choose to believe them anyway. This is where gratitude becomes power, not when it reacts to the world, but when it creates the world. You take a step. With each step you take, the ground beneath you begins to shimmer, not where you already are, but just ahead, as if the energy of your thankfulness is lighting the path forward. You pause and whisper again, thank you for the abundance already circling me. Thank you for the unseen forces arranging it all. Thank you for the divine timing I choose to trust. Around you, the field begins to change. Tiny lights like fireflies emerge from the soil. One, then two, then dozens. Each one floats upward, drawn to the sound of your faith. They do not require facts, they respond to frequency. They recognize your vibration. You keep walking, not quickly, but with grace, with quiet belief, with sacred expectancy. You do not demand, you do not doubt. You offer your gratitude like seeds into the air, and the air receives them gladly. Every thank you whisper becomes a spark, and the sparks begin to form shapes in the sky above you. A home, a smile, a letter, a circle of safe arms, a sunrise filled with music, a door opening softly, a moment that feels like yes. You do not clutch at them, you simply watch and say again, thank you, even though your hands are empty, even though you do not know how, even though nothing has changed yet. Because somewhere deeper than evidence, you know it already exists, and that knowing, that calm, glowing, sacred knowing is enough. You kneel now in the middle of the field. The soil is warm. It hums beneath your knees, and you place your palms against the ground. You close your eyes. With the voice of someone who fully trusts her own becoming, you say, thank you for the freedom that's coming. Thank you for the laughter waiting to meet me. Thank you for the solution that already knows my name. Thank you for the surprise that will make me smile. Thank you for the version of me I haven't yet met but who already loves who I am. The wind moves gently through your hair, and the stars begin to shimmer. You feel them listening, not judging, not measuring, just listening, and responding, because gratitude is the original prayer, the first manifestation, the whisper that ripples across all timelines and brings the future to your feet. You lie back now. The soil holds you like a cradle. The fireflies drift closer, covering the field above you like a canopy of golden constellations. You're not asleep, but you're no longer awake. We're in the sacred in-between, where the subconscious rearranges the stars, and the universe responds with joy. You feel something opening above your chest, not a wound, not a hole, an invitation. Your heart has become a doorway, and gratitude is the key. You whisper once more, thank you for trusting me with dreams. Thank you for teaching me to trust them back. And now something begins to arrive, not in the sky, not in the field, but inside you, a warmth that says you're not waiting, you are aligning. And the more you rest in that thought, the more you understand gratitude is not a reaction. It is an instruction, a declaration, a design. When you say thank you before it arrives, you are telling the universe, I am ready, I am open, I believe. And belief becomes a magnet. You exhale slowly, and with that breath, the fireflies dissolve into golden mist. They float downward and seep into the soil. They become roots of something new, something you may not see tomorrow or the next day, but that is growing now because you gave thanks for it before it was real. And now it must become real. This is the law, the quiet law, the sleepy law. The law that whispers, believe first, receive second. You close your eyes, you let yourself drift, and the last words you speak are the ones that always call miracles closer. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, the field fades. the sky DRKENS dot, and in that darkness, a new dream begins to form dot, not of what has been, not even of what will be, but of something deeper still, a self who gives thanks simply for being. You are resting now, not just your body, but the part of you that tries so hard, the part that reaches and rushes and runs. That part is quiet now. You have entered the night, and in this soft velvet dark, something ancient begins to whisper. You do not have to do so much to receive. The whisper grows clearer as your breath slows. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. It's as if the universe is breathing with you, and in the space between those breaths, a vision forms. You see yourself in a still room, round, silent, almost sacred. There is no noise, no clocks, no lists, only a pedestal in the center dot, and on it, a cup dot. It is small, delicate, and perfectly made dot. It shines in the soft light, not because it is polished, but because it is pure. You step forward slowly and sit before the cup. You do not speak, you do not beg, you simply notice dot, and already the cup responds. A single golden drop appears floating above it, then falls inside with a soft ringing sound. Watch as the drop expands into warmth, light, promise, and another follows dot, then another. Oh, you did not do anything, you simply arrived. And aloud dot, you begin to understand dot, this is not the cup of earning dot, it is not the cup of deserving, it is the cup of allowing, and allowing is enough. You sit still, eyes soft, hands open, and with each breath, more drops fall, not from the ceiling, not from your effort dot, from nowhere, from everywhere. They fall like blessings that have been circling, waiting for you to be still enough to see them. This is what receiving really is dot. It's not the scramble, not the chase, not the convincing. It is the quiet yes you whisper when you believe you are worthy. Without proof, the cup begins to glow faintly. Now, as the golden liquid rises dot, and for the first time, you feel the difference between grabbing, receiving. One comes from fear dot, the other comes from knowing. You place your hand near the cup, not to grasp it, not to tip it, just to feel. The warmth moves through your palm, into your wrist, up your arm dot. It tingles gently, not like fire but like calm dot, like belonging. You close your eyes and feel it move into your chest. Your ribcage expands slightly dot, as if you are remembering how to open. You whisper softly, without thinking, I am safe to receive. I am worthy of ease. I do not need to force what is meant for me dot, and as you speak, the drops come faster, still gentle. Still quiet but more frequent dot. The cup rises dot, half full, 3/4, almost to the rim. And still you do nothing, only breathe, only soften, only allow dot. There is no transaction here dot, no cause and effect, only response. Because the universe responds not to effort, but to energy dot, and the energy of openness is irresistible. You picture now all the times you've closed, all the moments you felt you had to earn everything, the love, the money, the kindness, the rest, and you feel compassion rise in your chest. You did your best, but tonight you remember something older, something wiser, something simpler. You do not need to prove to receive. You do not need to chase down your blessings. You become the magnet for them by resting dot, by trusting dot, by sitting with the cup and knowing it will fill. And as that knowing deepens, the golden liquid reaches the brim, but it does not spill. It hovers perfectly miraculously just at the edge dot. It glows softly like a promise held. You gaze at it dot, not hungrily, not anxiously, with reverence, and you feel that same fullness begin to rise inside you. You are not empty, you never were. You simply forgot how much you could hold, how much was already meant for you, how many yeses were already circling your orbit, waiting for you to open your hands. You place both palms on your lap now, facing upward, as if to say, I'm ready, and in response, the room begins to shimmer, not brighter, just softer. You notice a shift in the air, the feeling that more is coming, and you don't need to name it, you don't need to map it, you don't need to manifest it perfectly. You only need to remain open. The drops begin again. This time, they float not into the cup, but toward you dot. One lands on your shoulder dot, one on your heart dot, one on your forehead. Each one feels like a gift you once asked for but forgot you deserved. You feel them become intentions dot, opportunities dot, love, resources, unexpected support, quiet, miracles. You do not hold them tightly. You let them soak in. Because you are learning now, true receiving is not possession dot, it is presence. It is the willingness to be available to good things, without fear of their departure. You take one more breath, long, slow, honest, and when you exhale, something leaves you, a weight, an old belief, that you must do more to get more, that you must be more worthy, that you must hustle to be blessed, it falls. Wait quietly like ash into the soil, gone, in the cup, it remains, always filling, always responding, always ready. You smile, because you understand now, you are not the one filling the cup. You are the cup, and everything good is already flowing toward you, through you, because of you, not because of effort, but because of who you already are. As your body begins to drift further into sleep, as the room begins to dissolve into stardust, as the golden warmth curls softly in your chest, you hear a new sound, a stream, a trickle, flowing towards something deeper still. And without even opening your eyes, you know you are about to enter the place where receiving becomes a river, and the stream that finds you begins to sing. It begins before you notice a sound, a shimmer, a hush through the trees of your dream, not loud, not sudden, just steady, ancient, knowing. A stream is near, but this is not a stream you seek. This is not a stream you chase or map, or force your way toward. This is the stream that finds you. You lie on your back in the soft grass of your dreaming mind. The stars above you like lanterns held in silence, the earth beneath you warm with promise, and somewhere, just beyond what you can see, the water sings your name, not the name others call you, not the name you write on paper, but the name only your soul remembers, the name of your receiving self. You do not rise quickly. There is no need, because what is meant for you is already making its way, so you breathe. As you breathe, the ground begins to shift, not to break, but to open, and there it is, the stream, slipping silently through the meadow of your imagination, binding gently like a ribbon of silver and gold. You sit up slowly, and it comes closer. You do not move toward it, it curves, finding its way to your feet as if it knows you finally stop running. You dip your fingers in. It is warm, alive, filled with invisible riches and stillness you can feel. This is not water. This is flow, this is supply, this is the gentle path of yes. You sit beside it now, and let the current lap against your ankles, and the stream does not ask you questions. It does not test your worth, it arrives simply because you became still, because you stopped demanding, because you began to trust. You close your eyes, and memories come like ripples. Memories of the times you chased, the times you pushed, the times you tried to become worthy of receiving. You see your past self knocking on unopened doors, trying so hard to be louder, faster, more impressive. You breathe compassion into those moments. You whisper to that old self, you were never doing it wrong. You just didn't know you could let go. As that whisper settles, the stream begins to hum, a low, soothing sound like a lullaby without words. You lie down beside it, the grass a bed, the stars a ceiling. The stream your closest companion, and from deep within a truth rises. You do not chase what flows. You open, you allow, you receive, and the stream continues, It does not pause when you rest, It does not dry when you wait. It is always flowing, always finding you. You begin to notice what's inside it now. Shimmering fragments pass by in the water, an envelope sealed with gold, a key without a lock, a flower that never wilts, a tiny home made of light, coin with your name etched in stardust. You do not reach for them, you watch, and you remember, not everything that flows past must be grabbed. Some things are simply reminders of what is possible, what is on the way, of what is already preparing to return. You place your hand gently back into the current, and the stream carries something into your palm, a smooth stone, cool and heavy. On it, a single word, enough. You hold it to your chest, and something inside you relaxes. I am enough, there is enough, enough is here. You speak the words without effort, because they are true now, and with each repetition, the stream grows wider, it expands around you, not fast, not loud, just steadily. The current quickens, gently, like your energy beginning to match the rhythm of life. You are no longer resisting. You are no longer fearing the flow. You trust it now. You know that what's meant for you is fluid, not fixed, it bends, it travels, it finds the easiest path. And tonight, that path leads to you. You float now, without trying. The stream lifts your body like a feather and carries you slowly through your dreamscape. You pass trees with leaves shaped like blessings, hills made of potential, stars that blink in time. With your breath And as you float, you feel something releasing, a belief, maybe an old tension. The idea that you had to grip life tightly to make it give it leaves your chest like smoke, and the space it leaves behind fills with something sweeter receiving effortless, quiet receiving. You begin to notice the whispers in the current voices, soft, familiar, not strangers, not guides, but you. Versions of you from other times, other dreams. They whisper, you don't have to earn it anymore. You are already aligned. You are already enough, and with each whisper, your heart becomes lighter. You float farther. You let the stream take you. There is no fear. There is no hurry. Because what is meant for you cannot pass you by. The stream curves gently now, and you come to rest in a shallow pool. It cradles you there, still moving beneath you. You look up. The sky has changed. It's no longer dark. It glows now just slightly with the soft light of unfolding, the moment between moon and morning. When dreams plant their roots, you hear the water whisper. This is the moment when receiving becomes remembering. You lie there, eyes open to the sky, feeling your entire body held by water, by trust, by something greater than you, yet born from within you. And you whisper back, I receive, not because you did enough, not because you fixed everything, but because you softened, because you surrendered, because you remembered. The stream finds you when you stop trying to find it, and the more still you become, the closer it flows. You close your eyes again, not from exhaustion, but from peace. You have been carried, and still you are being carried. You do not need to do more tonight. The stream knows the way, and as it gently rocks you to the rhythm of your own becoming, you begin to hear something new, a voice deeper than the current, not ahead, not behind, but rising from within, and it says, you've received. Now, are you ready to say yes to the whispered invitation that only the universe can give? You are still, the water beneath you still hums, still cradles, still flows, but now, something even quieter begins to stir, not around you, within you. Vibration, not a tremble, not a rush, but a single word gently forming in the hidden folds of your soul. Yes. It does not shout. It does not knock. It does not need to. This is the whispered yes of the universe, and tonight, you are learning how to say it back. You float in the twilight of your own awareness, not fully dreaming, not fully awake, suspended in the in-between, where reality is softest, where miracles like to slip through. The stream carries you still, not fast, not far, just enough, and in that motion, you begin to remember 1,000 silent invitations life has sent you, the gut feeling you ignored, the idea that lit up like lightning then faded, the hand you didn't reach for, the opportunity you thought was too good, the door you waited too long to open. You remember them now, not with regret, but with tenderness. They weren't missed, they were paused, waiting for you to soften, waiting for you to be ready, waiting for this moment, because the universe never rescinds an invitation. It whispers again and again until one day you are still enough to hear it. And tonight, in the flow of your receiving, you are ready. The stream carries you to a cove now, round, quiet, enclosed by trees that bow their heads in silence. You drift gently to the center, and there, rising from the water, is a single lily pad, floating, glowing faintly. On it, a folded piece of paper. You don't need to reach for it, it comes to you. The stream knows, it always knows. You lift the paper. It is soft in your hand, almost breathing. You unfold it slowly, and inside only one word, yes. You place the paper over your heart, and something opens inside you, It is not dramatic. It is not sudden, It is a gentle unfurling. Like petals waking under moonlight, You whisper back, yes to what I thought I wasn't ready for. Yes to what I believed I had to earn. Yes to ease. Yes to help. Yes to love that arrives gently and stays quietly. Yes to receiving what's already mine. Yes to my own becoming. And as each yes leaves your lips, the stream responds, It begins to glow, not brighter, deeper. From its depths rise memories you never lived yet somehow know are true. A home you haven't entered, a hand you haven't held, a room filled with light and laughter and peace. They float toward you, soft visions carried on the current. They are not promises, they are previews. Because you said yes, and that changes everything. You float on your back now, eyes closed, yes in your chest, the current of receiving beneath you, and for the first time, you do not wonder what's next. You do not try to picture it. You simply trust that whatever it is, you will welcome it. Because you've learned that receiving is not passive. It's not doing nothing. It's doing the brave thing, opening, saying yes before you see it, saying yes when it makes no sense, saying yes when every old part of you wants to hold back. You feel the tension of your past selves melt now. The one who needed certainty, the one who needed proof, the one who was afraid to be disappointed. You thank them, you release them. You whisper, it's okay now. We don't have to hold back anymore. And in that moment, the sky shifts. Above you, a single star appears, then another, then a dozen. They blink like eyes, like messengers, like allies. And then you hear it not outside your body, but inside your chest, a gentle, pulsing whisper. Yes. You say it again, and the universe answers. Again. And again. The exchange is not loud. It is not urgent. It is sacred. Soft call and response between soul and source, between your breath and the infinite, between your heartbeat and the field of all that is. Yes. Yes. Each repetition a thread, weaving you deeper into alignment, into resonance, into a space where your desires are no longer visitors but residents. You see now, the stream did not bring you to receiving. The stream reminded you that you already were. The receiving was always happening. You only needed to soften enough to notice it. You only needed to trust enough to say yes to it. You drift to the edge of the cove now. The trees lean closer, listening, not judging, just bearing witness. The stream slows, still holding you, but letting you rest. Letting the frequency of yes settle into your bones. You place your hands on your belly, feel the gentle rise and fall, and whisper one final affirmation. I say yes to what aligns. I say yes to what flows. I say yes to what I used to believe I had to fight for. Because what is mine simply comes. The night deepens. The stars blink slower. The stream becomes a hum beneath your skin. And as you rest, as you breathe, as you surrender into the full flow of trust, you feel the faintest tug on your awareness. A new current. A ripple just beyond this moment, not of receiving, but of something even softer, even sweeter. A memory you haven't lived yet. A gift you haven't asked for. A surprise that only reveals itself to those who let go completely. As the stream carries you into that next dream, you hear the final whisper of the night. Now that you've said yes, are you ready to let more come without lifting a finger? You're holding something. You've been holding it for a long time. Maybe it's a wish, maybe it's a worry, maybe it's a weight you didn't mean to carry. You don't even remember when your fingers closed around it, only that you haven't let go since. But tonight, something shifts. The night around you feels softer than before. The air no longer presses. The silence no longer echoes, and in this stillness, a new presence arrives. It does not knock. It does not rush. It drifts in on the hush between thoughts, a single feather, floating gently across the dream space of your mind. White, weightless, unbound. It circles once, twice, then comes to rest on your chest. Not heavily. Just meaningfully. As if it knows something you don't. You place your hand over it, feeling its softness, and something inside you exhales, something unspoken, something tight. You lie there, eyes closed, body calm, listening to the feather breathe with you. And then you hear it. A voice, not a sound, but a feeling says, what if you let go now? You don't need to answer. You don't need to decide. Not yet. You only need to imagine. So you do. You imagine your hands, not your physical ones, but the ones inside you. The ones wrapped around control, around fear, around expectations. You see them clenching, not out of malice, not out of pride, out of habit. And you watch them begin to loosen, finger by finger, thought by thought. There's no force here. Only willingness, only breath. You remember the thing you've been holding, the desire. The outcome, the plan. You cared for it deeply. You still do. But tonight, you begin to realize that loving something doesn't mean holding it so tight it cannot breathe. It means trusting it enough to float. Like this feather. You picture it now, this thing you've been carrying. You see it in your hands. You see how tired your palms are, how tight your grip has been, how heavy it has grown. Not because of what it is, but because of what you've layered onto it. Timing. Perfection. Certainty. You whisper gently to your own heart, you don't have to control this anymore. You never really did. You only believed you had to feel safe. And safety matters. Of course it does. But tonight, safety comes not from holding, but from releasing. You sit up slowly in the dream. Feather rises with you. And in your lap now rests a small glowing bowl. You place your worry inside. You place the outcome inside. You place the old belief that says, if I don't force it, it won't happen. You breathe over the bowl, and the feather floats down, lands gently on top, and with a shimmer of gold, the bowl disappears. Not violently, not dramatically, it simply fades, and the space where it was feels bigger now, roomier, quieter. You feel something else rising in its place, a kind of peace that does not depend on knowing, a kind of calm that does not come from control. It's subtle, but it's real. You lie back again, hands open now, palms facing the sky, and you begin to whisper, I let go of how it must happen. I let go of when it must happen. I let go of needing to make it happen. I trust the current. I trust the path. I trust that what is mine knows how to find me, and with every word you feel the feather again. But this time it is inside you, a lightness, a freedom, a breath where once there was effort. You think of the clouds in the sky, how they float without asking, how they move without permission, how they trust the wind to carry them. You are learning to become like them now, soft, unattached, guided. You see your life stretch before you like a quiet landscape, and across it, dozens of feathers float, each one a dream you surrendered, each one still moving, not lost, just free. They don't fall, they drift, and they all know where they're going. You smile. You understand now, letting go isn't giving up, it's giving over, giving the dream to the rhythm of something bigger, wiser, kinder. You say to yourself, I no longer grip, I guide. I no longer push, I prepare. I no longer chase, I choose to trust. And with that final whisper, you feel the last bit of tension melt from your jaw, your shoulders, your chest. Feather within you flutters once and settles. Peace, real peace, the kind that doesn't need results, the kind that doesn't need timelines, the kind that simply is. And as sleep begins to call you deeper, as your breath grows slower, fuller, more forgiving, you hear the soft rustle of wings, and know you've been carried all along, and somewhere, in the distance of your own becoming, you feel another layer begin to loosen the hands that unclench, ready to receive what they no longer try to control. Somewhere inside you, there are hands you cannot see, not your physical hands, but the ones wrapped around your dreams, the ones gripping the steering wheel of your life, even when the road is dark, even when the wheels aren't turning. These hands mean well, they've worked hard, they've held on, but tonight they begin to unclench, not because they are tired, because they are wise enough now to release. You feel it first in your body, a loosening, a warmth, a signal, as if your spirit is whispering to you gently, you don't have to hold so tightly anymore. And you believe it, not with your mind, but with something softer, a knowing deep beneath thought. You find yourself in a quiet space, a room, made of silence, not emptiness, presence. The floor is soft beneath you, the ceiling is infinite. The air hums with peace. In the center of this room is a glowing sphere, floating, pulsing, steady. You walk toward it, you don't rush, you don't force. Each step is a surrender, each breath is a door opening. You sit before the sphere. Your unseen hands rise slowly into your awareness. They shimmer faintly as if made of memory. And in them you see what you've been holding. It's not wrong. It's not bad, it's just heavy. The plan, the timeline, the explanation, the apology, the revenge, the validation, all of it held tight as if it might disappear if you dared to loosen your grip. But now, you no longer fear the letting go. You begin with one hand, the left. You open it slowly, finger by finger. Each release of breath, out falls the fear that if you don't control it, it won't happen. You watch it drift to the floor and dissolve like mist. Then you're right. You open it to and out falls the idea that struggle equals worthiness. Gone. Gone. The sphere before you close brighter. As if it has been waiting. You raise both hands, palms facing up now, open to the sky, and something inside you clicks, a shift. You're not in control, but you are in harmony. And that is deeper, more powerful. You feel a warmth spreading from your palms up your arms, into your chest. Your heart pulses gently. This is what alignment feels like. It says, you are not lost. You are not late. You are not wrong for wanting things to go a certain way. But now you understand. Desire is clean. Control is clenched. And tonight, you choose clarity. You choose trust. You choose to lay it down before you. The sphere opens slightly, like a flower unfolding in reverse, and a light pours upward. It touches your open hands, then your heart, then your mind, and in that light you see every dream you thought you lost. They were never gone, just paused, waiting for space to be welcomed in. Your grip had closed the door, but your openness, now the door swings wide. The dreams rise from the floor, not as demands, not as obsessions, not as visitors, as allies, as energies ready to return freely. You do not reach for them, you only watch. And from your hands something new begins to grow. Not a plan, not a map, a flower, petals unfolding slowly, softly, organically. No pushing, just becoming. The flower glows in a soft color only your soul can name. It is the color of relief, the color of surrender, color of yes. You cup it gently, and whisper, I no longer grasp, I receive. I no longer force. I follow. The petals respond. They shimmer once and then lift from your palms, floating upward, higher until they disappear into the stars now gathering. Overhead, you lie back on the soft floor. Your hands rest on your belly, still open, still warm, still unclenched. You have not given up. You have given over. You have surrendered the tension, not the vision. You have released the need to prove, not the desire to grow. And in that release, you are more powerful than ever. You feel the space inside you growing, space that used to be filled with worry, now filled with silence. Space that used to be filled with planning, now filled with trust. And in that trust, a rhythm begins, a soft new pulse, a knowing, a presence. And just before you drift into deeper sleep, you hear it, the sky whispering back. Now that your hands are open, are you ready to place your dreams on the cloud that carries wishes? You are. Lighter now, not because something was taken, but because something was released. And tonight, you learn how to send it upward. You lie on your back, surrounded by silence, not emptiness, space. Kind of space you create when you finally let go of needing everything to make sense. Above you, the sky is wide, not black, not blue, but a soft, glowing lavender gray. The stars do not blink. They glow steadily, like watchers, like listeners, like distant flames that never rush, never fade. And in the sky, floating low, a single cloud drifts toward you. It is soft. It is slow. It is waiting. You've seen clouds before, but never like this. This one glows from within, not blinding, but warm, like the inside of a lullaby. It descends just close enough for you to reach it. You sit up, no effort, no strain, and the cloud curls toward you, gentle and alive. This is no ordinary cloud. This is the cloud that carries wishes, the one that does not question, the one that does not test, the one that says, place it here, I'll take it from you. You rest your hands on your lap. Open palms, unclenched fingers. You begin to gather the dreams that remain, not the ones you force, not the ones you fear. The quiet ones, the ones that live beneath your ribs, the ones you stop saying aloud. You hold them now in the space of your breath. The dream of being seen, the dream of peace without a price, the dream of being provided for without pain, the dream of a love that stays. You don't package them. You don't decorate them. You don't try to convince the cloud they are worthy. You simply lift your hands, and one by one, you let the dreams rise. They float upward like feathers. Each one drifts into the cloud and vanishes, not gone, but held in a space of faith. A space where the how is no longer your job. You whisper, I no longer chase. I allow. I no longer demand. I dream. The cloud hums and responds. Not a sound you hear with ears, but one you feel through skin. A vibration of trust. Motion of sacred delivery. You send up the dream of timing. You send up the need for control. You send up the ache of waiting. And in their place, the cloud leaves gifts, ease, peace, softness. You lie back again, hands now empty, but in the most beautiful way. Empty like a field before spring. Empty like a canvas before the masterpiece. Empty like a heart that knows everything is still coming, but doesn't need to hold it anymore. The sky moves slowly above you, not toward a destination, but as a dance, each star a dot on a divine map you no longer have to trace. You feel something else rising now, a memory, not from the past, but from the future, a glimpse of what you just released coming back to you. But better, more whole, more real, more free. You see yourself in that scene, smiling not because it all came true, but because you stopped needing to know when. You stopped asking how, and everything began to arrive, one feather at a time. One gentle gift after another. Because when you let go, you create the only space dreams need to land. Faith, you breathe in, you breathe out. closes softly, as if to say, it's done, not completed, but in motion, and motion is enough. You close your eyes, but your awareness remains awake, floating above your body now, watching the cloud carry your wishes higher and higher, into a place where things form before you see them. You no longer need to hold them. You no longer need to make them happen. You only need to live in a state of peaceful anticipation. You say one more time, I give this to the sky, I give this to the current. I give this to the energy that always returns with more than I imagined. And the cloud responds by splitting gently into three. One part carries the wish forward. One part carries it inward. One part leaves a trail of silver stardust over your chest, a mark to remind you that you are already becoming what you once asked for. You curl softly into your side now. The earth beneath you wraps around your body like a second skin. You feel warm, but not from the outside, from within, as if your inner world has finally unclenched. And in that space, you hear it, not a voice, not a sound, a truth. Letting go doesn't mean letting it go forever. It means trusting it enough to find its own way back, and just as your body begins to drift deeper into dream, you feel the lightest touch on your cheek, a kiss, from a cloud, and somewhere far above, or maybe just inside your chest, a door opens to something unexpected, a gift you didn't even know you'd made space for. The room is dark now, not with emptiness, but with rest, a darkness that does not frighten, but welcomes, rests beside you like a quiet friend. Your eyes close, and yet you begin to see, not with sight, but with the soft awareness behind your breath. Tonight, you are not chasing light. You are discovering how to shine from within, and it begins with just 2 words, not shouted, not spoken with urgency, just whispered, thank you. The words slip past your lips like warm tea, curling into the air and rising like little lanterns. You don't know what they're thinking yet. You just feel that they want to be said, so you say them again. Thank you. This time, the air shifts slightly, it listens, it opens. And in that opening, a stillness moves through your body like soft water. You say it again, slower. Thank you. And now your mind begins to find what your voice already knew. The bed beneath you, the weight of the blanket, the gentle rhythm of your breath, the heartbeat echoing beneath your ribs. Thank you. It's a chant now, a rhythm, a lullaby you sing to the universe. But more than that, a vibration you send to your cells, and they listen, because gratitude is not just a feeling, it is a frequency, and tonight you are tuning in. You don't need to remember every detail, just notice a pillow that held your head, a meal that warmed your belly, the kindness in a passing glance, the silence you found in a world that never stopped speaking, thank you. The more you say it, the more you feel the warmth behind it, as if every thank you releases a golden thread from your heart, a ribbon that stretches outward into the fabric of the universe, tying you to moments, tying you to magic, tying you to the truth that you are never without something to hold in your heart. You breathe deeper now, not to do anything, just to feel, and your gratitude follows. Thank you for this breath. Thank you for this pause. Thank you for this chance to begin again, in the dark. There is nothing to distract you. And that is the gift, no screens, no schedules, no measuring. Just you and your receiving. You begin to picture it, the small lights rising around you with every thank you spoken. They hover in the air, tiny orbs of gold. Soft as candlelight, warm as memory, each one is a blessing you've acknowledged. Each one is a signal to the universe. I see, I notice, I honor. The lights float gently, never too fast, never too bright, because gratitude does not need spectacle. It only needs presence. You let your mind wander now, but only through softness. You remember a voice that made you smile. You remember the feeling of being seen. You remember the quiet joy of a small, unexpected moment, and with each one, thank you, thank you, thank you. Your body softens further. Your shoulders melt into the bed. Your legs grow heavier. Your fingers loosen their grip. Gratitude doesn't ask for action, it asks for attention, and attention is peace. You picture a garden now, one that blooms only at night. Each flower opens when a thank you is spoken. You are walking through this garden now, barefoot, safe, carried. You do not need to search for beauty. You only need to say, thank you for what is. And the petals open, everywhere, around you, within you. Gratitude is no longer something you do, it's something you are, it lives in the folds of your breath, in the rhythm of your heart, in the quiet permission You've given yourself to rest. You begin to thank things that haven't even happened yet. Thank you for the joy I will meet tomorrow. Thank you for the help I don't yet know is coming. Thank you for the ease arriving in silence. You smile faintly because you realize you are no longer waiting. You are welcoming. You are no longer asking, when will it come? You are saying, softly, it's already on its way. The lights around you respond. They swirl gently. They drift closer. They become a blanket. And beneath that golden softness, your thoughts begin to slow, not because they are gone, but because they are soothed by presence, by peace, by thank you. You lie still now, but everything inside you is moving, releasing, receiving, becoming. And just before you drift, just before the last edge of wakefulness folds into dream, you feel a warmth above your chest, a final light, softest of all, and it whispers, thank you for returning to this moment, thank you for being the one who notices. Thank you for remembering that even in the dark, gratitude glows. And far off, or maybe very close, you feel a mirror beginning to turn a reflection not of what has been, but of what you are about to see when morning comes. The night is gentle now, not silent, but hushed, as if even the stars are listening. You are warm beneath your covers, breath steady, body soft, held by something greater than your bed, a presence, a pulse, a whisper of light that comes not from lamps, but from the promise of tomorrow, and tonight. You are invited to meet that tomorrow before the sun arrives, not through planning, not through preparing, but through remembering. Remembering that every blessing coming your way has already begun to echo in the spaces within you. You begin to drift not away, but forward, forward through dream space, forward through the darkness, into a morning that hasn't happened yet, but already loves you. You find yourself standing in a quiet hallway, smooth floors beneath your bare feet. A pale, golden glow spilling down the corridor as if dawn has been caught and folded into the walls. At the end of the hallway, a single doorway opens. You step through, and inside, a mirror, simple, still, tall enough to reflect your entire being. But this is no ordinary reflection. This mirror shows you not how you look, but how you feel when you've truly received. You walk toward it slowly. With every step, you feel lighter, not because something has been erased, but because something has been understood. You reach the mirror, you take a breath, and there you are, a version of you you've longed to meet. Your shoulders carry no tension. Your eyes are lit with softness. Your face glows with the kind of peace that can't be faked. This is the version of you who wakes up already grateful, not because something amazing happened, but because gratitude became the lens, not the reaction. You press your hand to the mirror, and your reflection does the same. In that moment, a warmth spreads from the glass into your palm, your chest, your breath, and then the mirror begins to move, scene by scene, moment by moment. It shows you a future morning, not in fantasy, but in frequency. You see yourself waking gently, sunlight filtering through the curtains like a soft golden veil. You do not leap from bed. You do not groan. You rise slowly, as if your body trusts the day ahead. Your feet touch the ground, and before you even stand fully, you whisper, thank you. Not because of what you already have in your hands, but because of what you already hold in your heart. The mirror glows brighter now. You see yourself brushing your teeth, making tea, opening the window, and all around you, the smallest things shimmer, steam rising from your cup, the smile from a passing stranger, the sunlight warming your skin through the window pane. You're not looking for blessings. You're living inside them because you train your eyes, your breath, your being to notice. Gratitude no longer waits, it leads. And so everything that follows arrives in a different tone, a gentler tone, a tone of alignment, of abundance, of yes. You feel the tears rise in your throat because something inside you recognizes the truth of what you see. This isn't a fantasy, it's a mirror, a reflection of who you become when you let gratitude be your rhythm, not your reward. The mirror continues. It shows you not just your joy, but your strength. You watch as a challenge rises, a delay, a disappointment, but you remain soft. Not because you like what happened, but because you trust it's part of something bigger. You take a breath and say, thank you for this lesson. Thank you for what I can't see yet, thank you for the shift. Already in motion, and the moment begins to shift. New light enters, new options unfold. Because gratitude didn't deny the moment, it deepened it, transformed it, softened it. You did that. The mirror begins to fade now, not as a goodbye, But as a gift received, you step back, and where the mirror once stood, there is now a window. You walk to it, push it open, and beyond it is the landscape of your life, not just as it will be, but as it feels when seen. Through gratitude, everything looks familiar, but brighter, softer, more alive. You realize you didn't need a new life. You needed a new lens, and gratitude gave it to you. You rest your arms on the windowsill. Let the air touch your face. Let the future whisper its song. You say quietly, thank you for the ordinary made holy. Thank you for the magic hidden in repetition. Thank you for the moments I used to miss that now make me weep. And just then a breeze passes through the window. It brushes against your cheek, lifts a strand of hair, leaves behind a kiss of morning. You close your eyes, you feel it. The version of you who lives this way is not far. They are already stirring inside you, waking, becoming. You step back from the window, the hallway returns. The door begins to close, but before it does, you hear one final whisper from the world you just visited. In every tomorrow, gratitude is already waiting. And as you turn to walk back through the corridor of your dream, you feel a new invitation forming. A deeper kind of thanks for things you haven't even received yet. You return through the hallway of your dreaming, the mirror of morning now tucked like a memory inside your chest. Its warmth still lingers, soft as candlelight behind your ribs. And tonight you go even deeper. Not into past blessings, not into remembered peace, but into something quieter, something bolder. Gratitude before proof, gratitude before form, gratitude for what is on its way. You lie back in the center of your dream. The ground beneath you is velvet and endless. The sky above you is a dome of silence, punctuated only by stars that blink like yeses in the language of the soul. You close your eyes, and you speak the words, thank you for what I cannot yet see. Thank you for what I cannot yet hold. Thank you for what I cannot yet name. The moment you say them, the space around you begins to shimmer, not with certainty, but with possibility, and you begin to feel it, that quiet power inside of thank you given too soon. Or is it too soon, or just early enough to start turning the unseen into the real? You speak again, thank you for the answered prayers I haven't realized were answered. Thank you for the people already on their way to bless my life. Thank you for the doors preparing to open when I least expect them. Above you, the stars respond not with sound but with movement. They shift gently, as if pulled into position by the magnet of your faith, because that's what this is, not guessing, not pretending, but vibrating in trust. You are no longer asking, when will it come? You are saying softly, thank you, because I know it's already mine. The air around you listens and begins to carry your thank yous like seeds on the wind. You picture them floating, each one landing in a different field of your life. One for love, one for money, one for peace, one for health, one for joy, one for ease. You don't need to dig or plant. You don't need to push or plan. You only need to bless them, and so you do. Thank you for the relationship that feels like home. Thank you for the opportunity that fits like a glove. Thank you for the rest that finally comes without guilt. Thank you for the clarity that replaces confusion. Thank you for the abundance that flows without fear. And even though your physical eyes are closed, your inner eyes begin to open. You see little lights blinking on the horizon like ships returning to shore. They carry the very things you thanked in advance. They are not empty. They are not lost. They are guided by your energy, and gratitude is their lighthouse. You breathe deeper, not to summon God, but to receive. You don't have to convince the universe. You only have to join it, align with it, sing with it. And gratitude is the tone that matches the music of creation. You smile gently, because you realize this thank you isn't just a tool. It's a doorway. The more you say it, the wider it opens. You speak again, even slower now. Thank you for the good news that's finding its way to me. Thank you for the moment I will soon call a turning point. Thank you for the version of me I've been becoming all along. And now you begin to thank things you once thought were problems. Thank you for the delay that became a blessing. Thank you for the silence that became a reset. Thank you for the unanswered prayer that turned into something better. Your body grows heavier in the best way. Anchored, rooted, your soul, though lighter, lifting, not away, but upward into the truth. You are never behind. You are never forgotten. And the gratitude you give tonight, without proof, without evidence, without visible signs, is not wasted. It is currency. It is alignment. It is the language the universe responds to before the facts align. And they will align. because energy leads, and form follows. And tonight, your energy is whispering, I'm ready, I trust, I think, before I see. You curl softly on your side, hands resting near your heart. One final whisper leaves your lips. Thank you for trusting me with this waiting. Thank you for teaching me to bless the invisible. Thank you for reminding me that every thank you I speak lights a lantern in the dark for miracles to find their way home. The stars above you blink slower now. The breeze pauses. Even your thoughts fall still, not from exhaustion, but from reverence. As the dream carries you deeper into the folds. Night, you feel a soft, golden thread being sewn into your chest. It glows, it hums. It wraps around something new, a door preparing to open, a knock you don't have to make, a future already filled with your name. And as your breathing slows even further, you hear it. Just once, barely more than a sigh. Thank you for believing before it bloomed. And just beyond your dreams, a new rhythm begins to rise, a garden of receiving that answers the softest prayers, spoken long before they had a reason. Tonight, there is a second pillow beside you, not one you place, not one you bought, but one that has always been there, even when no one was resting their head on it. You feel it now, the shape, the space, the subtle invitation. A softness that says you're not meant to sleep alone forever. You're not meant to dream alone forever. Not because you're incomplete, not because you're lacking, but because love, true love, wants somewhere to land. And it lands in space, in openness, in readiness. You turn your head toward the pillow. No one is there. Not yet, but tonight you begin to feel them. The presence, the pulse, the partner, not in form. In energy. You lie still, and your heart begins to stretch. Not in longing, in welcoming. A new thought rises in the dark, soft as breath. What if someone is already dreaming of me too? Not your name, not your face, but your soul, your rhythm, your frequency. And in this quiet, you begin to meet them, not in body, but in vibration. You close your eyes and feel the bed grow warmer, not from heat, from knowing. A warmth that spreads from your chest outward, as if your heart is a lighthouse, and love is drawing closer. You picture them, not precisely, not perfectly, but in essence. You see kindness in their hands, you see gentleness in their laugh. You see the way they look at you, not with possession, but with peace. And something in your belly flutters, because it doesn't feel like fiction. It feels like remembering, like rediscovering a soul you haven't met yet, but already miss. You speak to them in a whisper. I'm making space for you, not just in my bed, in my mind, in my breath, in my daydreams, in my readiness, and the pillow beside you feels fuller. You don't need to imagine the details. You don't need to predict the meeting. You only need to feel what it would be like to be loved with gentleness. To be chosen without confusion. To be held with intention. And tonight, you practice the frequency of already loved, already cherished, already kissed, already met on a level deeper than logic. You breathe in and feel what it's like to belong in someone's arms without fear of losing yourself. You breathe out. Release the idea that love must come through suffering. You whisper, I am ready to be loved in a way that doesn't ask me to shrink. I am ready to be loved in a way that doesn't start with chasing. I am ready to be loved as I already am. But as I perform. And with each phrase, the pillow beside you glows faint, golden, soft. Not because someone is already lying there, but because someone will be. And that future, that love, that presence, it responds to your energy. Not your effort. You're fixing. Just the stillness of your belief. You roll gently to your side and place your hand on the second pillow. You let it become a symbol of what you're creating. Not grasping. Not forcing. Creating. Through allowing, through softening, through receiving. You say, thank you for waiting for me. Thank you for becoming ready at the same time I did. Thank you for choosing me long before I knew how to choose myself. The room hums gently. The darkness doesn't feel empty anymore. It feels shared. With what? A timeline, a possibility, a presence. And that is enough. You no longer need to explain the past. You no longer need to mourn who didn't stay. You no longer need to beg for love to arrive. You've invited it, and love always answers a soft, honest invitation. You are not waiting tonight. You're becoming the version of you who knows how to receive it. You lie still, and the pillow beside you remains untouched, but not unoccupied. It holds something now, a future, a heartbeat, a yes, and as sleep draws you deeper into the folds of your dream, you feel something press gently into your back. Not a body, but a blessing, a warm dot of promise, and just before you drift completely away, you hear it not in the air, but in the hush behind your heartbeat. I'm on my way. Keep dreaming me closer. The love that matches you is almost home. Love doesn't arrive when you chase it. It arrives when you match it. When your soul starts humming the same note as the heart you haven't met yet. And tonight, you are becoming that note dot not for anyone else. For yourself, you are not calling love to come. Fill your emptiness. You are becoming so full, so gently radiant that love recognizes itself in you. The room is quiet. The pillow beside you still rests undisturbed, but the space around it is alive, not with waiting. The readiness, you lie still, wrapped in warmth, suspended between now and next dot, and in that space, you feel it, a current, a vibration dot, the low, steady pulse of becoming magnetic dot, not through effort, through energy. You breathe slowly, and each inhale affirms, I am lovable now, not when you lose the weight, not when you figure everything out, not when you become someone more impressive dot, now dot as you are, exactly here. You feel your heart respond. A soft bloom opening inside your chest dot, not to give, not to pour dot, but to receive dot, to allow love in. Not the kind that arrives with confusion or conditions. Not the kind that wavers when you show your truth, but the love that matches you. The one that knows your stillness, the one that speaks your rhythm, the one that doesn't require translation. You close your eyes, and in the dark of your own safety, you begin to imagine it, not their face, not their form, but their frequency. How it feels to be seen, to be chosen not for performance, but for presence. To be loved not for what you give, but for who you are. When you're not trying, you whisper, I am worthy of love that feels like alignment. I am worthy of love that doesn't confuse me. I am worthy of love that adds peace to my life. Not noise dot with each word. The pillow beside you glows faintly dot, as if someone is listening, as if someone is preparing, and maybe they are somewhere in the world, in a different room. Beneath a different sky there may be a soul who's also learning how to match your softness, who's learning how to open, how to trust, how to meet you in that place between giving and receiving, and call it home. You smile softly because it doesn't feel impossible anymore dot, it feels inevitable. Because you're not becoming more lovable, you're simply releasing the layers that kept love from finding you. You're not reaching out, you're reaching in, and as you reach, you find pieces of yourself that were always magnetic. The kindness, the warmth, the sincerity, the steadiness, the part of you that never needed to be more. The part of you that only needed to believe. Love that matches me will find me when I match myself. You rest your hands over your chest now dot, feel your heartbeat. Steady, strong, unapologetic. You whisper, this is the rhythm love will recognize. This is the light love will follow. This is the truth that calls it forward, and around you the air grows warmer, thicker, more golden. The pillow beside you pulses gently, not as an empty space, but as a place that's being prepared dot, by your belief dot, by your vibration, by the energy you've cultivated in silence. You see yourself waking up beside someone, not with fireworks, but with familiarity, a hand brushing your shoulder, a quiet smile. A feeling of safety so real it hums beneath your skin. You feel it as if it's happening now. Because in the dimension of energy it is. There is no gap between now and then. Only belief dot, only alignment dot, only the magnetic, irresistible glow of someone who has stopped asking if they're lovable and started trusting that they always were. You whisper, I do not chase love. I align with it. I create a life so loving. Love can't help but join it. And with that, you turn toward the empty pillow, not with longing, not with waiting dot, with quiet welcome, a breath, a smile, a space dot. You no longer plead, you prepare, because the love that matches you is looking for a soft place to land dot. And now, your energy says colon here dot, land here. You are safe with me, because I am safe with myself. You pull the blanket higher dot, curl into the shape of belief. And just before sleep folds around you like a lullaby, you feel it, a second presence, not physical, not imagined dot, energetic dot, settling into the glow beside you dot. It doesn't speak, but if it did, it might say, I've been looking for someone who loves like you do. I've been waiting for you to remember you deserve this, and your heart replies with its own hum, a signal, a match, a melody. As the night deepens, as your breath slows, as the frequency of love begins to settle into every cell of your body, you feel a question forming, not one you ask, But one love asks you, will you let yourself be found? By the one who's not looking to fix you, but to meet you where you already are tonight. Your heart becomes a lighthouse. It does not search, it does not chase, it simply shines, and that is enough. The night wraps around you like silk. The sky above is wide, open still. The air hums not with noise, but with knowing. And somewhere out there, love begins to move, not toward the loudest voice, not toward the brightest spark, but toward the energy that feels like home. And tonight, that energy is you. You are no longer calling love from the ache of your loneliness. You are calling love from the warmth of your fullness, from a heart no longer waiting but inviting. You lie still and feel your chest rise and fall. Like waves that never need to explain themselves, you place one hand over your heart. It beats gently, it beats honestly, it beats as a signal to the soul that is seeking you too, because love is not summoned by force, it's summoned by resonance. And your resonance tonight is unmistakable. You whisper softly, if you're listening, I'm ready, not because I'm missing anything, but because I'm ready to share the overflow. And the moment you speak it, you feel a shift, not in your body, in the space around you, a warmth, a movement, a magnetic pull, as if something ancient has stirred, as if love has heard the invitation, not the desperate kind, not the gentle kind, the kind that says, come as you are, I'll meet you there. You see it now. A thread of golden light spooling from your heart outward, stretching across mountains, across oceans, across time itself. It moves in silence. It weaves through dreamscapes, and somewhere it touches another part. Maybe they don't know why. Maybe they turn over in their sleep, smile, and rest a little deeper, because something in them has been reached, called, claimed. You don't need to know who, you don't need to know how, you only need to trust that love follows light. And tonight, your light is glowing without fear. You close your eyes, and in the darkness, you dream of hands that hold with intention, not to take, but to steady, to soothe. You dream of eyes that see you, not just your body, but your spirit, the part of you that stayed soft, even after all the hard things, the part of you that believes in love, not because it was always easy, but because you always knew it could be real. You whisper, thank you for already loving me. Even if we haven't met, even if you don't know why, you're becoming someone gentler tonight, because that's what this frequency does. It changes both ends of the thread. It makes you ready, and it makes them remember that love doesn't require a plan, only presence. You picture them now, not their face, not their form, not their feeling. You feel the relief of being understood, the ease of being received, the joy of not needing to explain. And your body melts into the mattress. Not from exhaustion, from alignment, because you are no longer becoming lovable. You are simply being loved. Already. In whispers, in wavelengths, in the silent magic between two beating hearts calling each other home. The second pillow beside you glows again. You don't turn toward it, you turn inward. You feel what it would be like to wake up beside someone who doesn't complete you, but celebrates you, who doesn't fix you, but honors your wholeness, who doesn't dim themselves and never asks you to shrink. You breathe in that future, that presence, that truth, and something inside you says, I no longer look for love to prove my worth. I welcome love to reflect the worth I already know. The stars above you shimmer softly, as if aligning, as if listening, because they are. Because the entire universe responds to an open heart that stops shouting and starts glowing. You pull the covers higher, curl into your light, and just before sleep wraps you in the gentle arms of becoming, you hear it, or maybe feel it, a voice without sound, a message without language, the energy of your future partner whispering across the thread, thank you for calling me in, without needing me to fill you. Thank you for shining so steadily. I knew where to go, and somewhere, in this dream or the next, two lights begin to move closer and closer, not because one chased the other, but because both finally said, I'm home. You are lying still, wrapped in the hush of night. The world around you is quiet, but inside something flows, a gentle hum. Beneath your ribs, a golden warmth in your belly, a slow, steady current rising with each breath. Tonight, you begin to remember what the world forgot to teach you, that you are not empty, that you were never meant to beg the universe, that abundance doesn't come from outside, it flows from within. You take a breath, soft, slow. You let it fill your chest like water rising gently in a quiet well. With every breath, you fill yourself, not with hope, but with knowing there there is a river inside you. Always has been. It doesn't roar. It doesn't crash. It flows quietly beneath the noise of the world. Beneath the beliefs you outgrew. Beneath the myths that told you to earn love. To fight for worth. To fear not having enough. But this river, it doesn't care about those myths. It simply flows. You close your eyes now, and you see it. The river of your inner abundance glowing softly beneath your skin. Wide, gentle, endless. Its water's gold, silver, rose, not money, not things, but the energy behind all receiving. Love, ease, support, freedom, time, rest, joy. It's all there, not waiting for you to deserve it, waiting for you to remember it. You whisper softly, I don't have to become worthy. I only have to become willing, willing to receive, willing to release, willing to stop proving and start allowing. And the river listens. It pulses, it widens. It quickens its flow. You feel it fill your chest, your arms, your fingertips. You breathe deeper. You are not imagining wealth. You are remembering your original state. I am provided for. I am supported. I am enough. You whisper again. Thank you for all that already flows to me. Even if you don't see it yet, even if the physical world hasn't caught up, your energy is ahead. And form always follows frequency. You begin to see it now. The river branching outward into the areas of your life. A stream for health, a stream for creativity, a stream for money, a stream for love, a stream for peace. They flow with ease because you're no longer damming them with doubt, with shame, with guilt for asking. You lie in the quiet and let them move, not to take, but to trust. That you don't need to struggle to receive, that you don't need to suffer for supply. You are always connected. Even when you forgot, you breathe again. And with your breath, a new truth settles into your body. The more I believe in lack, the more I chase. The more I believe in flow, the more I attract. You begin to feel the difference. Chasing exhausts. Chasing contracts. Chasing makes your body tense, but receiving it feels like floating. It feels like lying in a warm bath of yes. You feel that now. A yes rising in your spine. A yes spreading across your heart. A yes tingling in your fingertips. You don't need to know how. You don't need to name the source. You only need to say, I am open. I am ready. I am willing to let it be easy now. The river responds. It glows brighter. Its water lifts slightly in gentle waves. Not to flood you. To remind you it's already here. Abundance isn't what comes next. It's what you're made of. And tonight, you return to that truth. You feel the current wrap around your body like light silk. It doesn't rush, it doesn't push. It invites, and you accept. You let go of the questions. When, how, where will it come from? You let them fall like stones into the river, and the current carries them away. You don't need those questions anymore, because you've chosen a new language. The language of receiving, the language of readiness, the language of quiet, unwavering trust. You whisper, thank you for all the ways. Abundance is already showing up. Thank you for the help I don't have to earn. Thank you for the flow that was never really gone, just waiting for my yes. You feel your body soften, your mind no longer searching, your breath no longer bracing. You have nothing to prove. You have nothing to push, only the river to rest in. You let your thoughts float like leaves on its surface, soft, slow, surrendered. And the more you release, the more you realize. You were never the seeker, you were always the source, not of everything for everyone, but of the frequency that calls abundance to your shore. It knows your name. It recognizes your readiness. It follows your permission. You breathe once more and feel the river curl up around you, not outside. Inside. Flowing in the soft hollows of your body, whispering promises in your blood, lighting your dreams with golden waves. And just before you drift, before your waking mind slips into sleep, you hear the current speak. Not in words, but in feeling. You never had to ask for more. You only had to remember you were made of it. And as you sink into the dream, the river glows one final time, not as a farewell, but as an invitation to follow it even deeper in the chapters to come. There is a pocket inside you, not stitched from leather, not made to carry cards or coins, but real and sacred and limitless. It is the wallet of the soul. Tonight, you slip your hand into that invisible pocket and discover it is never empty. It has never been. Even when the world told you otherwise, even when your bank account trembled, even when the bills piled up and the pressure built and the fear hissed between, your thoughts like wind in broken glass, even then, this place remained full. Because your truest currency is not paper, not metal, not numbers on a screen. It is belief. It is alignment. is dark, but the space within you begins to glow dim at first, then warmer. You close your eyes. Place your hand over your chest and feel it, that steady rhythm, that quiet beat. Your inner wallet pulses there, not behind your ribs, but behind your yes. The part of you that says, I believe in being provided for. I believe in unseen support. I believe in divine deposits. You whisper, I no longer carry scarcity in my spirit. No longer rehearse struggle in my thoughts. I no longer define my worth by what the world has measured. Because tonight, you carry something else. A new story. One where worth is not earned, it's inherent. Where money is not chased, it arrives. Where blessings are not bargained for, they are received. You rest your head more deeply into the pillow and begin to dream of richness that has nothing to do with price tags. You dream of richness as ease, as options, as mornings without anxiety, as evenings without dread. You dream of checking your wallet and smiling, not because it's stuffed with bills, but because you feel held by something you can't see, but know. You dream of walking into stores without calculating cost before, asking if it's what your soul wants. You dream of being generous, not to prove you have enough, but because you are enough. As the dream carries you deeper, you begin to see a room. Inside it, shelves upon shelves, each shelf filled with envelopes. Some are labeled, help you didn't ask for. Checks arriving unexpectedly, support from strangers, debt forgiven, time returned, peace of mind. This room is your soul's vault. Not a storage of wishes, a record of what's already yours. Waiting for you to open your palm, you reach for one envelope. You do not tear it open, you feel it, and with your feeling, it opens. Inside is a memory that hasn't happened yet, a future moment where you look at your life and say, wow, it came, and it came in ways better than I imagined. And that future you smiles, because they remember this very night, this quiet moment when you finally stopped gripping, stopped panicking, and started receiving. You let the envelope dissolve, and reach for another, unexpected surplus. A friend covering dinner, rent paid without effort. An opportunity that pays double and feels like joy. You laugh quietly, because it feels so possible. So natural, as if it's already on the way. And maybe it's, because when you believe it's coming, you start behaving like someone who's already safe. And when you behave like someone safe, you stop repelling the very things trying to love you. You whisper again, thank you for the security I already hold inside. Thank you for the abundance that has nothing to do with numbers. Thank you for the freedom to let life surprise me with goodness. And in this dream, your soul's wallet glows, soft golden light, warmth without heat. It pulses gently with every heartbeat, because it knows you've remembered, you've returned, you've released. No more proving. No more praying with fear. No more treating the universe like a vending machine. Tonight, you're not asking for something. You're aligning with it. And that changes everything. Because alignment doesn't hustle. It harmonizes. You breathe in, and the breath says, I trust, I allow, I let it in now. You breathe out, and the breath says, I no longer need to know how. I no longer fear the timing. I no longer block what's mine. You turn softly in your bed. A smile blooming across your cheek like sunlight. And just before sleep takes you, you press your hand gently to your heart. Your inner wallet rests beneath. And from deep within, it whispers without words, I was never empty. I was just waiting for you to believe I never would be. And so the night holds you, wallet full, spirit steady, and abundance already circling you like a hush of wine, silent, certain, and soon, tonight. You say it again, not out of habit, not out of politeness, but as a key. To words as soft as breath, as powerful as sunrise. Thank you. You whisper them into the dark. You don't direct them. You don't demand a reason. You just let them rise. Thank you, not for what you have, not for what you've lost, but for what is already moving toward you. In the invisible, the room is still, the air is warm, the sheets curl around you like clouds. And inside, a door begins to open, a quiet, golden door in the hallway of your spirit. Not because you forced it, not because you figured everything out, but because you said thank you before the arrival. That's the magic. That's the secret. You do not say thank you because it's here. You say thank you so it knows it's welcome, so it feels your readiness, so it senses your softness. You don't summon abundance with tension. You summon it with gratitude, unconditional, unreasonable, unshaken. You lie back, Imagine it now, a river of light pouring toward you from the horizon, not running, flowing. And every time you whisper, thank you for what's already mine, the river grows closer. You don't need to see the details, you only need to receive the feeling. What does abundance feel like before its physical relief, spaciousness, breath, smiling for no reason, options, ease, peace? Let that feeling in now. Let it enter your body like a warm bath, no resistance, no waiting, no needing. Proof, just this, thank you, thank you, thank you. You close your eyes and the darkness behind your lids becomes gold. You float through a dream, a place where every thank you becomes a gate. You walk through one now. The air is soft and heavy with scent, jasmine, honey, something sweet but quiet. In this dream world, there are no clocks, no deadlines, no numbers to prove anything. Only yeses, only support, only a sky that smiles down on you as if it's known all along what's coming. You walk slowly, and each step lands on a glowing word beneath your feet. Enough, enough, enough. You don't need to wish, you don't need to beg, you only need to remember. Abundance is not waiting for you to become perfect, it's waiting for you to receive it without shame. And the gateway to that receiving is thankfulness. You whisper now, thank you for the unseen checks. Thank you for the debt that dissolves. Thank you for the random refund. Thank you for the email that changes everything. And even more, thank you for the breath that costs nothing. Thank you for the stranger's kindness. Thank you for the quiet moment where I felt safe inside myself. Because gratitude is not a transaction, it's a transformation. It lifts your frequency to a place where the good things already live, and from that place you become magnetic, not through striving. Through allowing, you begin to feel your body live not off the bed, but inside the bed, lighter, brighter, wider, as if the space around you has become a container for all that is about to arrive. It's so close now, you feel it in your fingertips, in your belly, in your back, support, overflow, clarity, ease. Kind of abundance that wraps you up instead of weighing you down. Kind of abundance that smiles as it comes closer. Because it was always meant for you, you whisper, thank you for being patient with me, abundance. Thank you for staying close even when I doubted. Thank you for circling back when I finally opened my hands and you feel your heart blown, soft, slow. Why, not with need, with welcome, and that changes everything. Because when you stop needing abundance and start welcoming it, it shows up not as a savior, but as a partner, it walks beside you, not above you, not beyond you. It moves in step with your belief, and your belief is steady now. You can feel it. Knowing in your chest, the kind that says, I don't know when, I don't know how, but I know it's coming. And you say, thank you for the surprise. Thank you for the timing I don't have to manage. Thank you for the freedom that doesn't depend on force. Your body melts further into the mattress. Your mouth softens. Your eyelids flutter. You are ready, not because you chased enough, but because you surrendered enough. Surrendered fear. Surrendered control. Surrendered guilt about wanting more. And in its place, you offer this, thank you, over and over, like a song, like a key, like a love letter to the universe that's always had your name written in gold. You turn gently now, one hand resting on your belly, one hand open beside you. The room is still, but the energy is not, it is alive. It is awake. It is watching, and as you drift as the final edges of waking dissolve, you feel a whisper. Soft as the wind in tall grass, everything you thinked is already on its way. And the more you sleep, the more it travels, not toward your door, toward your frequency, your light, your calm, grateful, quietly unstoppable yes. And just before the last thought fades, you feel it land not in your hand, not in your bank, but in your being, it's done, thank you tonight. Your body becomes a meadow, a wide, quiet field under a sleepy sky. There is no pressure here, only presence, only peace, and into this meadow, two things arrive. One is a feather, soft, white, drifting, light enough to ride the hush of your breath. It lands gently in your palm. The other is a stone, heavy, cool, dense with stories you didn't write. And for so long, you've held both. You don't remember when you picked up the stone. Maybe it was handed to you. Maybe you thought it was yours to carry, but it's been there in your chest, in your thoughts, in the tightness behind your smile, and now, here in this meadow of sleep, you finally notice the difference. The feather whispers, the stone waits, the feather floats, the stone pulls, the feather says, It could be easier. The stone says you don't deserve ease until you've earned it. You rest deeper into the mattress, and for the first time in a long time, you wonder, what if you let go of the stone? Not throw it, not reject it, just release. It. Let it fall gently to the earth. Let the grass hold what you no longer need. You curl your fingers around the feather. It asks nothing. It simply exists like worthiness, like rest, like grace in your body sighs. A long, slow exhale you didn't know you were holding. That was the stone loosening. You whisper, I don't have to fight to deserve softness. I don't have to struggle to justify joy. I don't have to grip pain to prove I'm growing. And the meadow nods. The stars blink. The sky sighs with you. You roll onto your side and feel the heaviness begin to melt. The stone is not gone, but it no longer defines the shape of you. You are beginning to trust the feather, that light things can be real, that ease can be true. That letting go is not laziness, it's alignment. You see yourself now in a memory or a dream, or something in between. You are walking through your life with a satchel slung over your shoulder. Every stone in that bag was a rule you didn't. Right, work hard or you're unworthy. Be perfect or you'll be left. Succeed or stay invisible. Don't rest unless you're exhausted. Don't ask unless you're desperate. You carried those stones like they were sacred. But tonight, in the safety of this meadow, you begin to unzip the bag. You reach in, and one by one, you place the stones on the ground. You name each softly. This is fear disguised as discipline. This is guilt dressed as responsibility. This is burnout pretending to be ambition. And the earth receives them. With no judgment. Only love. Only space. In your satchel. It grows lighter. Your steps. They begin to float. Because what you thought was you was really just weight you mistook for identity. Now you know better. You were never meant to be the one who holds everything. Together, you are meant to be the one who allows things to come together through stillness. Through trust. Through openness. You whisper. I give myself permission to put it down now. The fear, the control, the pressure to figure it all out. And the moment you say it, the feather glows brighter in your hand. It doesn't promise answers. It promises peace, and peace is what opens the doors you've been trying to break down with effort. You lie back fully now. Let the mattress hold your weight. Let the ground of your spirit support what your mind no longer has to. You see the stones in the grass glinting softly in the moonlight, not as failures, but as former beliefs. You nod to them, you thank them, they taught you things, but now the feather leads. You bring it to your chest, hold it against your heartbeat, let it match. Your rhythm. Soft, light, present. This is who you are without resistance, not hollow, not helpless. Free. And just before you fall asleep, you hear the final echo of your own voice, calm and clear. I don't have to carry what I've outgrown. I don't have to earn the right to float. I am allowed to let it be light now. And with that, you drift, feather in hand. Stone behind you, a softness ahead you no longer fear to follow. There is a moment so small you almost miss it, that lives between trying and allowing. A pause, breath, a soft space where miracles gather just before they land. Tonight, you float in that space. No striving, no chasing, no gripping thoughts asking when or how or what if. Only quiet. Only the hum of your spirit exhaling the weight of doing. You lie still, and for the first time in a long time, your muscles don't prepare to carry more. They release. They unfold. They say, I trust, because trust is not passive. It's powerful. It says, I don't need to push life forward. I let life meet me where I am. Your breath deepens. Your jaw softens. The lines in your forehead melt, and the room around you becomes vast, like the sky before a dawn that knows it doesn't need to be. Asked to rise, that's what ease feels like. Not emptiness, readiness. You're not quitting, you're receiving. You close your eyes and imagine yourself on a calm river. You're in a small wooden boat. No motor, no oars. Just you, the water, and the knowing that flow will carry you farther than force ever could. You dip your hand into the water. It's warm. It pulls gently. Not to steal you away, but to remind you the current already knows the way. You lean back, the boat rocks once, then steadies, and you realize this stillness is what alignment feels like. The part of you that was shouting gets quieter. The part of you that was calculating stops needing numbers. The part of you that was planning sinks into presence. You whisper, I don't need to earn the destination. I only need to trust the direction. The river glistens around you, golden, smooth, serene. It carries you through trees that bend gently overhead, to sunlight that dapples across your body like blessings you no longer have to ask for. You are being moved, not manipulated, not forced, guided, because when you stop paddling in panic, you start noticing the signs, the birds that fly in the same direction, the gentle breeze at your back, the quiet voice that says, this way, yes, this way. Your body rests heavier now, but your spirit lifts. You are no longer pressed against the door. You are waiting with the door wide open, and that is the most magnetic posture of all. You whisper, I let go of effort that proves my worth. I embrace ease that honors my truth. I live in the middle where magic happens. The boat carries you on. You don't steer. You don't correct. You observe, and you notice the shift. The more you trust, the more the river sparkles. The more the path curves just right. The more peace feels like progress, because it is. Ease is not delay. It's divine timing unfolding without your interference. You drift now through a clearing. In the center of this water world is a lantern floating glowing dotted. Pulses with soft golden light, a beacon from the version of you who already has what you seek. You reach for it, not with desperation, with curiosity with welcome and when you touch it, you feel the message within. A life of ease does not mean a life without motion. It means a life without resistance to motion. You smile softly because you understand now ease isn't about doing nothing. It's about doing the thing that feels like breathing. It's not waiting forever. It's moving only when it feels like a yes. It's not laziness. It's listening to when your body says rest, when your heart says pause, when your energy says now. You whisper, I move only when it's aligned. I trust the stillness as much as the shift. I allow myself to be guided, not driven. The boat continues. The river widens. The lantern rests beside you, casting golden circles on the water and everything is enough. Your breath, your presence, your belief that you don't have to hold the wheel to reach the shore. Because resistance doesn't prove readiness, it proves fear. And you are done fearing flow. You stretch one arm out over the edge of the boat, fingers grazing, current and in the ripples you see your reflection, calm, clear, unburdened. This is who you are without resistance, a channel, a vessel. A soft, steady yes. The river hums a lullaby now, its current slow, its voice made of water and wonder, and it sings, you are held, you are moved, you are already enough. You close your eyes, let the lullaby pull you deeper and just before the dream begins, before your body surrenders to sleep entirely, you feel one last message drift through you. The moment you stop pushing, the life that's been waiting can finally reach you, and so it does, quietly, beautifully, now. There is a sound the soul makes when it stops holding its breath. It's not loud. It doesn't cry. It sighs tonight. That sigh rises from within you, like steam from warm tea, like fog lifting from a sleeping lake. You don't push it. You don't force it. You just let it rise. Because tonight, you learn the difference between control and clarity. Control clenches. Clarity breathes. Control shouts. Do something. Clarity whispers. Be here. And so, you lie back. You're not giving up. You're giving over. Giving over. To what? To something wider than your will. Something softer than your striving. You let your shoulders drop. You feel the bed rise to hold you. You let the stillness become your teacher. And in that stillness, you hear the lesson. Letting go is not weakness. It's wisdom. It's the moment you stop trying to stir the ocean with a spoon. It's the moment you stop asking the wind to explain itself. It's the moment you remember that your job is not to manage the universe, only to match it. To move with it, not ahead of it. You whisper, I release the plans that come from panic. I release the timelines born of fear. I release the pressure to figure out what's already unfolding, because something is unfolding. You feel it, not out there, in here, like a flower that blooms when no one is watching, like a tide that turns without being told. You don't need to demand it. You don't need to define it. You only need to make space. And that's what letting go does. It makes space. Not just in your schedule, but in your spirit. You imagine your heart now, not the physical one, but the energetic one. The one that's been bracing for too long. The one that flinches when things go quiet. The one that whispers, what if it never comes? You place a gentle hand over that heart. You breathe with it, and you say, even if it takes longer than I hope, I choose peace anyway. Even if I don't understand yet, I trust anyway. Even if I never see the full picture, I let go anyway, and the heart relaxes a little, then a little more, and then finally it rests. Because letting go doesn't mean letting nothing happen. It means letting something greater happen. The moonlight spills across your room. You feel its glow even with closed eyes. And you know this is the moment when receiving becomes possible. Not because your hands are busy, but because they're open. You dream now of a sky full of paper lanterns, each one carrying something you used to hold too tightly. One lantern carries the need to be liked. Another, the fear of missing out. Another, the shame around rest. Another, the guilt of saying no. Another, the belief that love must be earned. You watch them float upward, not disappearing. Just dissolving because what you let go of doesn't leave a hole. It leaves room. Room for gentler things, truer things, things that arrive without struggle. You whisper again, I am willing to release what blocks my light. I am willing to stop managing what was never mine. I am willing to trust what's ready to unfold. And now something does unfold. From the quiet center of your being, a new energy rises. It's not loud, it's not dramatic. It's soft power, the kind that doesn't rush, the kind that doesn't fight for control, the kind that knows what's meant for me is not fragile. It doesn't need my grip, it only needs my yes. You feel that. Yes blooming now in your chest, in your belly, in the space around your body. A field of gentle agreement. With what is, with what's coming, with who you are without all the armor. You turn slightly, let the pillow cradle your cheek, and the earth feels closer, because you're no longer resisting gravity, you're working with it, letting it hold you, letting it carry what you've tried too long to carry alone. You whisper, I let go of the urgency that never belonged to me. I let go of being the one who always has to know. I let go of trying to fix what might not be broken. The room feels softer now, or maybe it's you, your edges blurred by the light of surrender. Your breath a lullaby to the part of you that finally feels safe. Safe not because the answers arrived, but because the need for them has quieted. Safe not because the path is clear, but because the pressure is gone. Safe not because you control the outcome, but because you've remembered you're not alone. The unseen is not against you, it's arranging for you, it's aligning. In ways you couldn't force if you tried. So now, you stop trying, and you start inviting. You whisper, Dear universe, I release the struggle, I release the chase, I release the belief that force creates fulfillment. I open my hands, I open my heart, I open my life to what flows with me, not against me. And just before your mind slips into dreaming, just before the soft rhythm of your breath becomes the only sound left, you feel it, a warmth. A yes, a presence. Not outside. Within. The soft power of letting go has opened the gates. And everything you were chasing, it now begins to make its way to the space you cleared with love.